Welcome back to another live and amplified Indie Fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quat. We're back at it again with another amazing podcast. We are here right in the middle of our pancreatic cancer fundraiser podcast marathon stream. And we got our next guest joining us. We got Ian Kocurek. How's it going today, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm kind of enjoying this weird weather that's going on up here in I don't know if it's doing the same thing down by you, but it's cold one day, warm the next.
Yeah, I think it just got done raining too, so it's all over the place right now.
Right. That was yesterday. And then that's going to be us tonight. So I'm like, yay.
Yep.
So how's everything been going?
It's going good. I had to kind of stop putting all my focus on music for a couple of weeks because school's been crazy, but I'm slowly getting able to get everything back together. So
Right. I mean, you got what, about a month left of class?
I think so. Yeah, we just hit the halfway point. So
Okay.
it's crunch time now.
Fair. Fair. Yeah, because you got Thanksgiving coming up, and then like I think right after Thanksgiving, it's like finals, right?
Yeah, I think like a week or two after. It's coming up quick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know how much time you got left on that. You're almost done, right?
Yeah, I have two classes next semester, then I'm done. If everything goes good, hopefully it does.
Oh, when that happened to me, my mother got pissed at me. She's like, "You couldn't take summer school to get those two classes done?" I was like, "They're only offered like one time a year. I'm sorry."
Yeah, they know how to get the most money out of everybody for sure. They have a good scheme going.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because then it's like, well, I can't just be a part-time student, so I got to take like two more BS classes just so I can stay full-time.
Yeah, they got it going on.
It's a whole thing. So yeah, we were it hadn't been that long since we've had you on the podcast, which I honestly I had 100% forgot it would have been this quickly because I knew it was like towards the end of the summer, but for some reason I thought it was like August. And I went and looked a little bit ago and I was like, oh, like literally 6 weeks ago.
Oh wow, it's been a long 6 weeks.
Right. So how's the music going? You mentioned that you had to kind of pump the brakes on the music there for a little bit, but
yeah, in the past 6 weeks, I went back in the studio, and all I have to do left is vocals and minimal overdubs. But the meat and potatoes, about 5 songs are done. And then in January, I set up a date where me and my buddy Ashton Naylor we're gonna go in the studio and record a song together, and just all the back end stuff or the back behind the scenes stuff is going on right now.
That's cool. And so once you come back off a break, you'll be like ready to go, pretty much.
Hopefully, yes, sir.
That's sick. I love it. So when you're not in school, where are you from again?
I'm from Texas City originally.
Okay. That's right. Yes, and so I take it you'll be going there for the holidays.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to spend about 2 weeks there, just because I haven't really got to spend time with anybody. Every time I've been down, like I just went down last weekend, but it's to get my truck fixed and some other stuff. So I really didn't have enough time to socialize with my friends and spend meaningful time. So I'm gonna try to kind of acclimate back in there for a little bit.
Yep. Just come back up here for those 2 damn classes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna try to next semester, like after the break, I'm gonna try to. I'm living up here again until August, and then I'm gonna try to figure something out. I want to stay up here as much as possible because this is where it's happening right now.
Yeah, I've been looking like so a lot's changed in the last 6 weeks, which is very odd to kind of say, but it's like I recently launched a social media platform, or not a platform, like a management firm type situation. Because my dad's been getting on me. He's like, why don't you got all these skills, why don't you just go into business for yourself? And I was like,
there you go.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. And so then I just one night I was drunk and it was just like I'm reading like all these musicians and like their half-assed like Instagram posts, and I'm like, I could do a better job, and I'm drunk right now. And so then I just like started writing out this whole business idea, and I sent it to my dad, and he's like, well, there's some spelling mistakes in here, but you're on the right track. And I'm like, cool. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Send me the link to it. I want to check it out.
Yeah. So I just kind of put it through Fiverr, just kind of as a free thing, and it's just like, you know what, we'll see what we can do with it,
That's awesome, man.
and kind of get me some freedom so I can come down a little bit further south.
Oh yeah, good
Because
business reason to come down.
oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And then we're going out to Tucson. That's gonna be
Mhm.
fun. So yeah,
When are you going out there?
November 30th.
Nice.
So we're doing a live podcast out there.
That'd be cool.
So I've got told a few people about what we're doing, and it's like I'm gonna use this Tucson bit because we found a venue that's like, yeah, let's come on out. They don't
Mhm.
know I'm coming from like Waco, Texas. They think I'm just kind of traveling through Tucson. And so I was just like, I'm not gonna tell them that. Like I just
Uh,
like, that whole thing. But yeah, we're gonna use it as like a good benchmark of what we want the deal to be, and then we're gonna start sending it to everybody. Be like, yo, help us come into your town. So
that'll be awesome, man. That's
yeah,
that's a really cool thing you got going on.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm not looking forward to the drive to Tucson, but
It'll be
it's
worth it when
okay.
you get there.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Um, so how's have you written any new music, or has it been primarily focused on like what you're currently
Um,
working on?
I've I'm in the process of writing two right now. I'm kind of like to. It's almost there. Like there's one called Satisfied, and I've just been kicking around this last verse because I think the song's pretty good. So I'm like, I'm not just gonna send it in. I want the last verse to be
Mm-hmm.
something good. And then I'm working on another one. I wrote it while I was in the shower, so I don't have any music to it. So I've just been coming up with different things. I've wrote or played like three different versions of it,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to get it to where it feels right. So it's a struggle right now.
Fair, fair, fair. Actually, that's kind of an interesting idea. Just put marker wall paint on the inside of your shower, and you're just kind of writing ideas. I don't know.
That'd be good.
I don't know why that just popped into my head, but it's
I
like
wish you.
musicians are just like writing shit on the wall anyways. So I don't know. So do you, how long have you been working on that stuff? Is that stuff that's
Um,
been a little bit more recent, or?
yeah, I'd say probably it was after we had our last
Mhm.
uh episode together, so it's been pretty recent.
Gotcha. That's gotcha.
So,
If you and obviously I asked this knowing that you just took a little bit of a break, but
mhm.
how the show's been going?
Last month, I took a break, but K Towns, she works at BMI here in
Mm,
Texas, and she's amazing. And she got me two gigs last month. It was the opening for the Reed Brothers and Midnight River Choir with my
mhm.
buddies at Cheatham Street on Friday for the 50th. And then she got me on a BMI event in San Antonio at a
Nice,
convention center with some friends, and it was really cool. But I
nice.
just got a text yesterday that I'm going to be playing a place in Seguin or on the border of Seguin called Grain Bin Cafe and Store. Really
Oh,
good
nice,
food, and it's a really cool place too. So I'm excited to be playing there tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night.
nice. That's cool. That's one thing I love about Texas is like you could go to like the most random sounding place and it's got like the best food.
Oh yeah, it's I'm far away from home, but it tastes like some home cooking, so it's
Right,
very good.
right. I found that there's this place out in the city of
Hmm.
West Texas. Um, and my buddy was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to this like Czech place. It's called Czech America." And I'm like, "Oh,
Hmm.
all right, cool." Like I mean, I'm Polish, so I'm somewhat
Hmm.
familiar with like Czech food and whatnot. And I was just kind of expecting this like weird hodgepodge of things, and I come in and it's like the best food I've ever had in my life. So
I'm gonna check it out next time I'm in the West because
yeah,
I've been to the Czech stop and I think one more place. Not I don't know if it,
Slovakics.
yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So Slovakics and Czech stop, those are like, I was actually just having a conversation with a guy at work about this. Those are like the Buckies of
Hmm.
West, which that sounds really weird to say, but it kind of
It's
is.
accurate. Yeah.
It's just like one of those things where it's like because it's on 35, everybody just kind of stops there. But if you come into the city a little bit, there's a there's a bakery that's really good. I can't it's like Main Street Bakery or something. It's like a very generic sounding name.
Hmm.
There's a restaurant called Czech America. There's the Slovakics equivalent is this place called Nemechek's.
That's
So
I think we've been there. Is it
yeah.
the one with the like big old machine in
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah.
So
We've been there one time.
it's a it's a whole experience. It's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like they don't want to tell you about all that insider stuff,
Mm,
but it's like that's your draw right there.
oh yeah, it's a
So
gold mine.
right,
Yes,
it's
sir.
like so let Slovakians be the Buckies of West, but y'all be the the
Yeah,
HEB.
yeah.
So
I'll hold it down.
right, right. So but I do want to before we continue on, I do want to thank you for jumping on our pancreatic cancer
Uh,
fundraiser. It's a
well,
it's a cause near and dear to my heart. So
well, thank you for having me because I don't think I've shared this publicly, but my grandma passed away about a year and a half ago to pancreatic cancer. So
oh wow.
yeah, when you texted me that, I sent it to my mom and dad, and I was like, "What are the chances?" Well, I guess it's 1 in 12 because
Mm,
the month, but I was like, "What are the chances of that?"
yeah.
It was not, I guess, cool, ironic. I don't know. The aligning was
It
cool.
worked out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's one of those deals where I think a lot of people just kind of hide the fact that pancreatic cancer, not that pancreatic cancer exists, but like it's like they don't mention that they've lost somebody to pancreatic cancer because it's been since I've started doing this fundraiser 4 years ago. So my mom passed away in 2021 from pancreatic cancer. Um, and so every year on National or World Pancreatic Cancer Day, we do the fundraiser. And every year, somebody that I've known for a year, or some people I've known for several years, they come out and they're like, "Hey, so and so, my family passed away from pancreatic cancer," and so it just kind of comes out of the woodwork. And this year, you're the fifth or sixth person, so it's like, yeah,
That's definitely rough for
mm-hmm.
sure. It's
Yeah. So, well, I'm glad you shared that story. And how close with your grandma were you?
I was pretty close, especially in the past 7 years. They her and her husband would always take me to the Astros games.
Guys,
From ever since 2017 all the way up to 22, because then I moved off to college, so it's kind of
yeah,
hard to go. But
yeah.
as pancreatic cancer, I don't want to say it's the worst, but it's definitely not the easiest to go through.
Well, I'll say it's the worst because I truly think it is. It's one of those
Yeah.
deals where most of the time you don't know until it's too late.
Hmm.
Every
Yeah.
once in a while, there's the outlier where you find out like way ahead of time because you just happen to get a CT scan or whatever it is, and
Hmm.
so
Yeah. The doctors basically said about saying like, yeah, she has it, and there's nothing we could do.
yeah,
Couldn't, like you said, couldn't catch it early enough. So it's just kind of got to accept it and ride it out, which is very tough.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, um, but yeah, no, I appreciate you sharing that story. It's never easy. So I thank you. I honestly I didn't know that, and now that I asked you, it's like okay, I knew there was a reason. So
Thank you for having me on. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I don't even care what I got going on today. Yes,
fair,
I want to be a
fair.
part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of cool because normally the interviews we do like straight through live,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm up from midnight to midnight,
Mm-hmm.
and the interviews as you go get a little funnier because you could tell my brain's not all there.
Yeah.
uh I equate it to like getting drunker and drunker, but
Mm-hmm.
last year it was such a grind to get through that I was just like we're not going to do that again. So
We got a system going now.
right, right. So obviously school and whatnot's a priority, but what have you been getting into outside of music and whatnot?
Nothing much, really. Just that and school's been kind of consuming me. I'm doing a little bit more on the business side. Like
Mm,
I just made some stickers and stuff, and
nice.
working on getting koozies and trying to figure out more of the business side on it, which is a whole other animal in itself.
Right, right. I will say koozies are really hard. Like I don't know what kind of logo or whatever you'd throw at it, but
Here I have a. Let's see.
But I played around with koozies and oh yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. That'll look good on a koozie.
Yeah.
Okay.
My sister
Cause,
made like 50 of them for free at a
oh,
show that I
nice.
did in my hometown. People loved them. So now I'm
Nice.
trying to make them on both sides a little different and stuff. But
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that'll look good on a koozie because the issue I had is I had like pinstripes on mine and on the koozie, the pinstripes didn't come out just right.
mm-hmm.
And the printer guy that I used, they didn't tell me like, hey, the pinstripes aren't looking right. We may want to relook at this. And they sent me 1,000 koozies, and now I'm sitting here with 1,000 koozies that have jacked up pinstripes, and I'm like,
Wonderful.
oh, well, luckily nobody cares. So
Oh man,
yeah,
yeah. Those most of those companies, they just see money. They're like,
yeah,
you want it fixed, buy another order of them.
right. Which was weird because when I had an issue, I bought some like jackets early on from them because I wanted to like when we went out to shoots and whatnot. I was like, during the wintertime, I want to still look like a team. And so I bought
Mm-hmm.
these really nice like fleece jackets with our logo on it. And they looked out really nice. They called me. They're like, hey, this is the preview. This is what it looks like, all these things. And then I went back to them for the koozies, and it was just like, yeah, we don't care. So
Maybe new management. Maybe I don't know. That's
maybe some it's got to be something. But
uh,
no, that's really cool that you're getting more into the business side because that'll be a real difference maker right there. So
yeah, it's definitely I don't know, from my experience so far, I'm not in it fully, but even just like learning a little bit, I'm like, all right, can't spend too much time in this realm because it's going to make the creative side just
mhm.
not fun. So I have to,
Yeah,
that's another thing. I have to split
right,
up. It's,
right. I'll have to send you some of the I don't know who you yeah, I know you said that your sister made the stickers
mm-hmm.
for you, but there's this company I use that they always send out like really random discount codes, and you can get like 100 or 200 stickers for like 30 or $40, Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'll have to
definitely
check that out.
send that one your way. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah. Because I'd asked my sister, because my sister's got one of those cricket machines where she
Mm,
can do all that stuff. And I asked her, I was like, hey, this logo right here, if we were to do like a 2-inch sticker off of it, how much would that cost you? And she was like, gave me some number. And then I went to this place and they're doing it for like a third. And I'm like, sorry, Jen, I want to support you, but
yeah, it's just they're doing it on such a big scale.
yeah,
It doesn't cost anything for them.
right, right. So, but yeah, other than that, if anybody wants to check out your music, all that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
Spotify is pretty good. On my Instagram, I have a link to a link tree, which
Mm.
it's just sends you to a website that just has everything on there. So like my email, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, uh, Spotify, Apple Music, and iTunes, and all that stuff. It's just everywhere with my name, Ian Kocurek.
Mhm. Cool.
Yeah,
Have
really hope.
have you landed on a launch date for the next single, or is that still kind of too
So I had to
far
go.
out?
Yeah, I had to go back in there and change some things. Just you know, when it's spaced out, you have too much time to think.
Right.
So it's I went back in there and redid it, and yeah, I'm trying to get another studio date to record vocals on all the songs, and then I don't know. I want to put one out around the beginning of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and then figure it out from there. I'm stuck between wanting to save songs up for an album because like I'm toting the line
Mm-hmm.
for 8 songs, but then the other half of me is like, just put the music out. I mean, no one's gonna be able to hear it if you just are holding on to it.
Yeah. Honestly, your best play right now might be to put out you because you said you got like what 8 songs?
I have 5 that I'm working on at the studio
Mm-hmm.
right now, and then I'm gonna have one in January.
Okay. I was gonna
And
say your best bet might be to just do that as a short album, like it because
mhm,
obviously 6 songs is a little long for an EP, but
mhm.
too short for an LP. So maybe if you do like 2 singles and then an EP or something, and then waterfall out the EP.
Yeah, that could work.
So
Yeah,
and then
I'm trying to look back on like stuff that came out 5 years ago and how they did it,
mhm,
and the method from the most effective method to do that to now has changed already.
Mhm.
So it's a whole new landscape.
Well, it's one of those things that kind of depends on like what your goal is and like if you're playing out a lot. Like, I mean, obviously, right now you're in school, so like you play when
Hmm.
you can. But if next after you wrap next semester and you're just going around Texas, honestly, just release an album and hard cop. Like I would, what I've told some people that are playing shows a lot is
Hmm.
release the or the physical version of the album and then just release them as singles on Spotify. So like on the same day you drop the first single on Spotify, but then the full album. And so when you're out touring, you've got something, but then you're not jeopardizing kind of that Spotify playlist.
That's smart. I like that.
So
I like that a lot. Yeah, because
yeah,
then it's a waterfall, so people just keep.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Like I mean, it's gonna be expensive up front because obviously you got to buy the physical media, but I mean, honestly, if you're out playing in front of a different crowd every night or every other night, however often it is you're playing, you'll get rid of them. Like it's not that hard of a bet. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'm going to look into that.
yeah. So, but yeah, other than that, once again, thank you so much for joining us. It was good hanging with you and
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will be back in a little bit with our next guest.